A once-in-a-lifetime moment happened to one whale-watching tour group, the birth of a gray whale. The tour company's captain, he's Dave's Captain and Whale Watching Safari, that's the name of the company, captured the moment off the coast of Dana Point, South California. Captain Dave said he never expected to see anything like this, and there were people in tears on the boat.
Oh, how adorable.
I know, never saw, what was this, a whale? Never saw a whale in person, but I wanted to see Flipper. Remember him?
Oh, Flipper!
Yeah.
They call him Flipper.
Exactly.
Flipper
There you go.
the
This is our singer right here, but Tiffany Hobbs is here with a look at what's coming up at 5:30. Hey, Tiffany.
Hey,
Singer.
Sean.
Hey.
Well, coming up, Congress continues another day in voting for the House Speaker. Now past round 13, we have the latest details. Plus, the Mega Millions jackpot is now $940 million. Tips on what to do if you are the winner. Don't go anywhere.
Well, we're going to put a bow on a beautiful day today with this gorgeous sunset. And we have ourselves some pretty nice sunsets coming up this weekend. A full look at your weekend forecast straight ahead.
Now at 5:30, Congress now in their third day on voting for the Speaker of the House. We have the latest. Plus, the Mega Millions jackpot has built up to $940 million. Tips on what to do if you win the big prize. And the economy was slow to produce jobs at the end of 2022, but things are starting to look up. Your news at 5:30 continues now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5:30.
Good evening, everyone. I am Tiffany Hobbs. Dee is off today. Thank you so much for sticking around for WJBF News Channel 6 at 5:30. Your local headlines at the bottom of the hour. South Carolina's Governor McMaster announces his executive budget for 2023. Economic development, education, and the environment are some of the highlights from the governor's executive budget. And the state is expected to have a $3.8 billion surplus this year. We took a look at the businesses that are coming to Evans Town Center and the goals of the future owners as they hope it will bring foot traffic back to the center and the opportunities it creates for business owners. On this day 18 years ago in Graniteville, a train ran into another train already on the track and spilled chlorine. 9 people died. At least 250 were treated for chlorine exposure. More than 5,000 were evacuated. We spoke to a resident that recalled the incident. The House of Representatives is back in session today, taking another stab at electing a speaker. In a major surprise, Republican Kevin McCarthy gaining more support than he has had the entire week. Faith Abube has the latest.
4 days into floor votes to elect the next House Speaker, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy at last picking up momentum. Cheers on the House floor as more than a dozen of the anti-McCarthy holdouts moved into the GOP leader's support column, cracking the ultra-conservative coalition against him.
McCarthy.
This amid back-to-back losses for the California lawmaker. But even with the progress, McCarthy still lacks the votes to claim the speakership.
The last 4 days, they haven't been ideal. They've been difficult. But I do see fighters. I see patriots who love this country and want to make things better.
Friday morning, just before his 12th straight loss, McCarthy walking into the U.S. Capitol with a pep in his step and confidence in his voice.
We're going to make progress. We're going to shock you.
But McCarthy is still quiet on exactly what that means and when the votes he needs to secure the gavel will materialize. The GOP leader reiterating his latest round of concessions to the so-called rebel Republicans who have refused to lend him their support, including a change to the House rules to allow just one lawmaker, Republican or Democrat, to trigger a vote to remove him as Speaker. While some have flipped in his favor, the remaining ultra-conservatives claiming never Kevin are still holding their ground.
Mr. McCarthy doesn't have the votes today. He will not have the votes tomorrow, and he will not have the votes next week, next month, next year.
And as for how long this could drag on, McCarthy himself is reluctant to put a timeline on it. A sign that even with the movements that he says are happening behind the scenes, nothing is guaranteed until the final votes are tallied. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
The suspect in the brutal murders of 4 college students in Idaho is being held without bail after making a court appearance on Thursday. Authorities releasing an affidavit during that hearing that revealed chilling new details. The 18-page affidavit from authorities reveals a chilling account from one of the surviving roommates. Kaylee Consalvez's father describes seeing the suspect in court.
Didn't have the swagger that I think he thought he was going to have being put in that type of situation. I think you see somebody who feels overwhelmed and defeated.
Koberger did not enter a plea on Thursday, but maintains his innocence. Another hearing in this case is set for next week. We join Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller for another look at your forecast. What's happening, Tim?
Tiffany, it's beautiful outside. Our Terry Lambertani Skyview cam right outside, of course, Bush Field shows the beautiful conditions with the sky doing a great little sunset there. Something that little Bob Ross would paint more than likely. Temperatures around the CSRA show 58 degrees at Bush Field, 60 in Louisville, 58 in Waynesboro, again with abundant sunshine, just a few little high clouds. Winds have been from the west around 5, 6, 7 miles per hour. That continues. They'll start to die down as we get to the nighttime hours. It is warm in parts of Texas. Look at that, mid-70s in Houston. If only we can bring those 70s our way. Normally what travels west moves east. And not the temperatures, though. They're going to stay pretty much where they are. But they're really not too bad. We're a little bit above average, that's for sure. A little few high clouds rolling on in here. These clouds are booking their way towards us all the way from Mississippi and Alabama. But again, they'll be around, I'd say, throughout the nighttime hours. May make us a little warmer in some places, but other than that, not too bad. Temperatures falling into the upper 40s tonight, so certainly grab a jacket if you're headed on out for a Friday night. And of course, the Border Bowl tomorrow, and the temperatures are perfect football weather with plenty of sunshine, 58 degrees at halftime and about 60 until the game comes to an end. Well, tomorrow is great, and Sunday not bad at all. We'll have a few more clouds, and we'll throw in a chance of showers on Sunday. I will tell you when those showers will arrive. We'll look at Futurecast, all coming up in just a few minutes. Tiffany?
Thank you for that, Tim. The Mega Millions jackpot is now up to $940 million. No one has matched all 6 numbers plus the Mega Ball since October, and this will be the 6th largest jackpot in U.S. history. Yet, if you do win, you should talk to financial experts and only tell close loved ones.
You have a lot of control over what you can do with the earnings. You're going to get that lump sum. You're going to be able to invest it the way you want. You also have the ability to spend it in the way that you deem fit.
You can buy Mega Millions tickets up to 15 minutes before each scheduled drawing. Tonight's drawing is at 11 p.m., so the last time you can buy a ticket would be 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Delta Airlines is rolling out free Wi-Fi. About 80% of the air carrier's domestic fleet will offer the service. Passengers will need to be a member of Delta's free SkyMiles loyalty program to access the onboard internet. Customers who are not members will have to pay a flat fee of $10. A decal near the boarding door will let passengers know if their flight has free Wi-Fi. They will also be able to connect to multiple devices at one time. Bed Bath & Beyond has been struggling to stay afloat. Now it cites worse than expected third quarter sales. Losses are being estimated at nearly $386 million. The company has also had trouble getting enough merchandise to fill its shelves, and shoppers have also decreased. Bed Bath & Beyond says it will likely have to not have the cash to cover expenses over the next few years. It will look at restructuring, selling assets, seeking out additional funding, and possibly filing for bankruptcy. Damar Hamlin is now awake and communicating with visitors. The Buffalo Bills are calling his improvement remarkable. Doctors calling this a turning point in the 24-year-old's recovery. Not only has Hamlin been able to move his hands and feet, he's using a pen and paper to communicate. The first thing he wanted to know: who won the game? Though not necessarily on the field, Hamlin's family wants his team to work towards their goals.
Damar's father spoke to the team, and really his message was the team needs to get back to focusing on the goals that they had set for themselves. Damar would have wanted it that way.
Doctors say the next step is to gradually get him breathing on his own and off the ventilator. The U.S. economy produced jobs at a slower pace at the end of 2022, but things are starting to look up. The post-pandemic rebound in the job market has lost some steam as industries that had been powered by the stay-at-home lifestyle start to slow their hiring, or in some cases announce layoffs. The latest government report showing the job market is still strong, but starting to lose momentum. The U.S. economy added 223,000 jobs in December, down slightly from the previous months. The unemployment rate dipped to 3.5%, a half-century low. Economists calling it a Goldilocks report.
We're seeing slower demand for labor, but still a fairly robust labor market overall. And we are starting to see some initial signs that wage growth is moderating, which is really what the Fed has been looking for in its fight against inflation.
The Fed predicts that the unemployment rate will rise to about 4.6% by the end of this year, as its string of interest rate increases force companies to tighten their belts. Still ahead on News Channel 6 at 5:30. More tech finds from the Consumer Electronics Show. Stay with us. Time now for a look at what's trending. An emotional tribute from rapper Quavo for his nephew and fellow Migos member Takeoff, who was shot and killed in Houston back in November after an argument at a bowling alley. The song called Without You was released on Wednesday along with a music video in black and white. The lyrics focus on the experiences Quavo shared with Takeoff and his pain after losing him. He sings in part, "Can't you tell how many times I cried? I don't know if I'm the same without you." BMW is making waves at the Consumer Electronics Show once again. Check it out, a color-changing car that morphs into different colors to suit the driver's mood. The German automaker first unveiled its color-changing E-Link technology at CES last year, but the color range was limited to black, white, and gray. This year, the company has gone full color, showing off a car that can morph into 32 different colors and form striking patterns. There is a ton going on at that show in Las Vegas, including a way for your pet to talk. Rich DeMuro has all the great tech finds from CES 2023.
The show floor is officially open here at CES 2023 in Las Vegas. The crowds are back, and so are some of the biggest names in technology. Every company wants to grab your attention at CES. Hello.
How's it going? You're going to feel like you are in the music because it's going to be moving around you.
A ride to the convention center in a $200,000 car is one way. This Mercedes Maybach is the first to have Apple Music built in with Dolby Atmos spatial audio. Well, that was quite the way to start the day, and here we are, CES. CES 2023 is the year the crowds are back.
There's an excitement in the air of all these people who've been away for 3 years. They haven't seen each other, and they're just excited to be back. And meanwhile, the companies themselves, though, have been working on really cool, neat, fun stuff.
At Google, a look at a new version of Android Auto that takes advantage of various screen sizes.
That's the cool thing about it, is no matter what kind of car you have, it will always adapt and give you the same set of functionality.
TVs are a mainstay. They always seem to get bigger, brighter, and sharper. Every year, LG does a wall of TVs, and this year they have 260 55-inch OLED panels, creating a remarkable display. LG has its first wireless OLED TV on display, but you'll still need to run a wire to plug it in. Their color-changing fridge, called Mood Up, will put a smile on your face. Now you can change the color of your refrigerator just by tapping an app. Went from blue to red. It's also a Bluetooth speaker. TCL changing the way it names its popular TVs. Gone is the 4, 5, and 6 series. In its place is the high-end Q series and the value-oriented S series.
We make the panel, we make the backlight, we make the processors. Everything inside a TCL TV is TCL, and that allows us to control the quality, it allows us to innovate, and allows us to bring stuff to market faster at a better value for our customers.
Sony has a new version of its PlayStation VR 2, which works with PS5 and might give the Oculus some serious competition. They also named their new electric car, Afeela. They're making it with Honda. Everything old is new again, and brands from the past aiming to make a comeback, like Aiwa. The 80s mainstay has a new line of retro boomboxes, complete with a tape player. Will people buy 80s-inspired boomboxes? I guess the sales will tell. All right, if you want to see some more of my finds from here at CES 2023, you can find me on Instagram. I am at RichOnTech. In Las Vegas, I'm Rich DeMuro, and you are Tech Smart.
Well, Rich, I would buy an 80s style boombox, that's for sure. All right, don't go away. Tim has your weekend forecast coming up next.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5 for 6.
Current temperature as the sun sets in our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam over at Bushfield is 58 degrees. Got a little bit of a breeze from the west at 8 miles per hour. Humidity and dew point fairly low, so we have certainly have plenty of dry air overhead for sure. The weekend, 62, both Saturday and Sunday. Really just a nice weekend, a little bit above average. I'll throw in about a 20% chance of a shower for Sunday, but that really won't be until Sunday night. So much of Sunday will be rain-free. Typical winter temperatures for us, so not too bad. Not too warm, not too cold. More clouds, though, start to roll in as we get into the next week. Notice a few high clouds rolling in tonight. That's made for just an absolutely gorgeous sunset. All across the southeast, we are high and dry thanks to high pressure that sits over Mobile, Alabama, keeping us high and dry. Still a little snow in parts of the Midwest, but the real weather story, again, is going to be out near California. This is the beginning. We're a little drier today, but starting tonight, over the next several days, here come these storm systems that are just going to wreak havoc with parts of California. The jet stream, in essence, taking these systems and just slamming them into the Pacific Northwest. Now, this is their rainy season. Now, the rainy season normally is December through about March, and they're getting their fair share of the rainy season, I'll tell you that much. 4 to 7 inches of rain can be expected with a number of systems that come through California, and the snow will pile up in feet in the mountains. For us here at home, we're piling in the sunshine. Although tonight it's clear, high pressure will continue to move over us, and we'll enjoy some really nice conditions for tomorrow with sunshine, temperatures low 60s. By the time we get to Saturday night, we'll start to get some of these high clouds again. You'll notice some rain develops off towards our west. That rain will actually move towards the north. But as we get towards Sunday night, that's when I think we're going to start to get some rain. So let's pick it up here for Sunday. Sunday, we're morning and afternoon time, we're fine. The rain develops out towards the west, and it really won't be till Sunday evening that we start to get some showers. So let's get closer to home because tomorrow's fine. This is 7 o'clock on Sunday night. Notice the clouds, and here comes the rain. Northern part of the CSRA late in the night, and then as we get to the wee hours of the morning, we'll start to get a shower or two that will roll in for early on Monday morning, and then out for Monday. 34 the overnight low for tonight, so rather chilly. 37 in Aiken, 35 down in Sylvania, 62 the high temperature tomorrow. Notice it's a little warmer than average. The average is about 59 degrees. We'll do a 60 in Aiken. Our 10-day Viper Alert forecast shows that shower chance late on Sunday at 20%. Low 60s will be our temperatures. So again, that's pretty much near average of where we should be for these daytime highs, overnight lows in the 30s, Tiffany.
Oh, that sounds really good. I'm loving this weather.
Yeah, me too.
Give it to me. All right. Well, we will be right back after this break. Thousands gathered in Tarpon Springs, Florida today for the 117th annual Epiphany. Epiphany marks the day Christians believe the three wise men visited the baby Jesus in Bethlehem, as well as Jesus' baptism. They celebrated with the reading of the gospel, a releasing of a white dove, and a ceremonial cross dive. It looks like a lot of fun. I hope it was warm in that water.
I just imagine that could be cold at this point.
It probably is. But I guess, worth it.
Yeah, a great celebration.
Yes, I am back at 7 on News Channel 6 and again at 10 on MeTV. But right now, Sean is here to tell us what's coming up on News Channel 6 at 6.
Yes, I am, Tiffany. Thank you.